Today we celebrate the transferred solemnity of the Ascension of the Lord. And this is something that I think we kind of have to think about. Anytime we have a solemnity or a feast, the church is drawing our attention in a very specific way to that thing, whatever we're celebrating. And one of the things she wants us to do is to meditate on what it means and then what it means for us as our lives as Catholics, as we're pursuing holiness. Here's what it doesn't mean. The resurrection and the ascension don't mean that Jesus is just up and running again. He was dead, he came back to life, he's back in heaven now, and that's that. It means that now that the Paschal mystery, his whole life, death, and resurrection is completed, he has authority and power over everything. Not some things, everything. In this temporary world, this is what I think is the tricky part for us. It just doesn't always subjectively seem that that's true, though, because we have so many anxieties and worries and just the troubles of this human life, fears, and those things tempt us to not trust Jesus in his true identity. It's a temptation. His true identity is risen and ascended victorious King of the universe. That's who he is objectively. He has power and authority over all things. So celebrating the Ascension specifically, it can remind us of that, and it can reset us to an encounter with him as he truly is. When we meet Jesus in that way, our fears and our worries tend to melt away because they just can't be sustained in light of the immensity of his power. Simple example, but being a kid in school. If you were a kid, well, of course you were a kid, but you were a kid, and if you went to school and getting picked on. If you ever got picked on, ever got kind of narrowed in by a group of bullies, whatever they might be, and then all of a sudden an adult pops up and just kind of puts an end to it, like immediately, just stops it immediately. Why? Because that adult has the power and the authority in that situation to be in control. This is Jesus in every situation. He's literally above everything. He's ascended above it. He's over it, as in has power over it. So if we're praying and our fears remain, it might be because we're forgetting or we're not encountering our blessed Lord in this aspect of his identity. So what I want to offer for our reflection on this solemnity is just the question: does the real Jesus match the Jesus that I pray to? Does the real Jesus match the Jesus that I pray to? When I go into my room and close the door and pray to him, as the scriptures say, in secret, is he the crucified and risen King of the universe, seated above every principality, authority, power, dominion, and every name that's named? Is he the head of the church, the Lord of history, and the divine conqueror of sin, Satan, death, and hell? When I pray to him, when I address him by name, when we receive him at Mass, is that how we orient to him? Or is there a mismatch? I think for most of us, maybe even all of us, there's at least some degree of a mismatch. Why even think about these things? I think we think about them, we talk about them, we pray about them because Jesus wants us not just to think and talk about them, but he wants us to experience his power in prayer, in the sacraments, in connection to holy people, in good relationship. He wants us to know, really know, his victory over every evil that causes us to worry. Because when we're in a state of worry and anxiety, that thing becomes bigger than him to us in the moment. It's an illusion, but it's an illusion that causes us agitation. The reality is he sits right now, in this very moment, alive and well, enthroned as master of the universe at the right hand of the Father, just waiting for us to invite him deeper into our lives in this way. So here's a suggestion. Today, as peacefully as you can, bring to mind the top thing that you're worrying about. Everybody's got a top thing. We usually have a list of things, but there's one that's kind of like the bigger thing. Take some time with it in prayer. It doesn't have to be a ton of time. Could be even during this Mass or after Mass as you're giving your thanksgiving. But take some time in prayer with it and bring to mind this one fact as you're thinking about it. Whatever that thing is, and it's different for all of us, Jesus is in control of it, objectively. Whether we think that or feel that subjectively is a separate issue. But objectively, he is in control of it. And though it might be challenging right now, whatever the thing is, and the reality is the only thing that can motivate him to act in our life, to act at all, is the goodness and infinite love of his Sacred Heart. He's got us. No matter what, he's got us. In his power, in his authority, in his love, we are completely safe.